Hey guys, welcome back to Give Your Hair a Kiss. I'm Kiss, and this is part 3 of the Salon Chair Facelift. Yay! I.e. my first attempt at reupholstering anything ever. So if you're just joining us, check out the first 2 videos of disassembling my old rescued salon chair, patterning the foam and the vinyl, getting it attached to the seat piece and the back piece. And here in part 3, we are going to reassemble the chair as best we can. So let's get right into it. Okay, here we go. I've got the arm pieces and I'm just gotta fit them back on. Now I had some trouble right along where the piece fits in, and I cut off like ½ an inch too much vinyl going into that junction piece. So I had to run like a piece of Gorilla Tape just to like close the gap on it, because I was like, no, I've already got the studs in. I'm not reupholstering this. I had the whole thing upside down and was just, this was a daunting task. So I'm just screwing back on the arm pieces. Phillips head screwdriver. Trusty screwdriver. Get them nice and tight. I decided not to do anything at this point with the chrome, just because it's a thing I don't know how to work with it yet. I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. I figure I'll probably have to reupholster the chair in a couple years anyway, so by that point, I'll figure something out. So I'm back to the seat area, and I'm just gonna gather the edges of the vinyl. I've lost something. What did I lose? What did I lose? Okay. Yes, smart girl is gonna take out her working staples now that everything is dry and set. And I'm gonna mark on the vinyl where I need to make the holes for the bolts to go back through to secure the chair down. So I'm using just a little, it's actually a clay working tool, the little, why can't I think of what it is? It's like a needle end. It's a little stab, make a hole, push it through, make the mark. And I just use a chalk marker to set up where the holes need to be. Clamp her back down. Same thing. Other side, pry that staple back up and mark out where those holes need to go by punching the tool through and making a mark with my chalk marker. Same thing on the other side. Poke it through, make a mark, poke it through, maybe, and make a mark. Great. So those are the areas I'm gonna have to punch through before I can drive the bolt through to secure it down. And then gather up all the edges, staple them down. And try to make it pretty. Doing my best to make it pretty and not have like some weird stiff fold that's going to show on the top side of the seat. Ooh. Yep, gather it in nice and pretty. At this point, I've still got a good amount of patience. Kind of getting outsmarted by the vinyl. It's pretty stiff once you when you're trying to get those accordion folds in it. you gotta gather it real nice. Work in kind of smaller sections. And it was difficult to do on the floor, you know? It's hard to get the leverage you need when you're just sitting on the floor instead of working at like a workbench or a work table, you know? So again, at this point, this is day 2 of working on the chair. So my knees were killing me. I was just over it. I was over it. But you just have to keep pushing forward. And something got, like, going around the corners and getting those gathered sections to look nice was kind of difficult. Definitely was not anticipating having trouble with that aspect of reupholstering the chair. It's kind of outsmarting me. You can see it, right? I'm so puzzled by this vinyl. Whatever. Give up. Staple it down. Bam! Staple it down. Check it out. Check it out. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Staple it more. Make sure nothing's gonna go anywhere. And then of course you run out of staples. Once you get on a roll with it, and then you run out of staples. And of course, just cut off the extra pieces. I was really trying to cut down in like pretty big pieces too, you know, so I could reuse those vinyl scraps for this and that. Okay, so I started studying the edge there, the way I did the back, went through, got all that studied. There are some wonky bits that aren't quite lined up perfectly, but that's okay. So then I took this really sharp file and just punched through the vinyl. Those are the original little, what are they even called? I guess they're a washer, but they have threading in them. Also forgot which side was the front and the back of the chair. I was thinking the whole time that that part that I studied was the front of the chair. So I shoulda, woulda, coulda, should've marked on the wooden bits, what was the front, what was the back, with the back of the chair, like what is the top, what is the bottom. That really threw me off. It ate up a decent amount of time just trying to get things sorted back out. Yeah. So these are the original screws that I'm putting back in. And they were kind of poking through to the underside because remember, the original chair, the upholstery, the foam underneath went all the way to the end, and we had that problem of hair and gunk and blech gathering between the armrest and the plumped up upholstered bit. So by eliminating that, I also eliminated where that screw head would come through. But I was also having the problem of losing the screws out of the bottom from that particular area. So these are the original screws, but and I'm gonna show you, but I ended up going back and redoing that because it didn't look good and it wasn't very secure. The chair was still very wobbly. So I'm just popping back in those black armrest pieces. Those are plastic. I'm still kind of torn whether I want to cover them in vinyl or if I want to spray paint them something shiny. If you have an opinion on this, please do share. I would love to hear it. and then popping the screws back in the underside of the armrest to hold that plastic bit into place. Again, I don't have a great workspace for this, so that's just one of my kitchen table chairs, and I'm just trying to make the best of like an awkward situation because it is a strange shape to try to work with. You can't really sit on the floor with it. Of course, I got mixed up with these. Even though I labeled them when I disassembled them, I wiped them back off like a sanitary person would wipe off all that gunk. But when I was doing it, I wiped off which one was right, and I was like, oh man, okay, let me not go as hard with the left, and I cleaned them off, and I relabeled them, and it was a thing. And this was really outsmarting me. I was like, how do I put this back together with such an odd shape? So maybe because this footrest plate isn't held on by like a singular screw or anything like that. It's all held together by those 4 screws on the bottom, those hexagonal head screws. Video 1 of 3, you'll see those hexagonal screws that I had to Allen wrench out. But yeah, so it holds both the footrest and the seat onto the chair's pump mechanism pedestal. And I put it on backwards. I put that plate on backwards because shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know? Next time when I have to go back in and reupholster a chair, must do a better job of labeling. So I thought I could get these screws to stay better by like, man, I'm gonna drill them in this time. Maybe I'm just not tightening them enough. Like, okay, great. And now it gets really awkward again. Same story as when I was disassembling the chair, trying to get these back in, and like, okay, do I go from underneath? Let's try going from underneath. Got my little Allen wrench, get under there mechanic style. Can't really see what's going on. Can't really see if the holes are lined up. Was just really ready to be done with this. Just done with this chair. But getting them lined up, get the first one in. Let's at least like finger tighten that one in. Maybe I can line the rest up from there. And she's already getting wobbly. So you know you gotta kind of put them in by crossing the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's back on, yes! And now I'm thinking, okay, getting this armrest piece on is gonna be a breeze, right? Ha ha! No! Same thing, those hexagonal screws. And you gotta like, do the plastic, do the arm piece, and fit it to that metal plate, all with like the one, you know, all 3 components have to line up. Which seems like, you know, it would be a simple task. Okay, let's put her on her side. Let's see if this works. Because I can't just hold this armrest, the other side is slipping. Like, how am I gonna do this? Okay, let's see if I can get it laying down. Maybe I don't need the footrest jacking it up like that. Let's try it this way. Getting outsmarted by armrests. Still kind of getting outsmarted. There we go. Okay, got her lined up. Try to get that screw in. Yes, we got one. Kinda. Nope, let's make it awkward again. There it is. There it is. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Probably should have put that back piece on before securing it back to the base of the chair, to that pump pedestal mechanism. would have been maybe a little easy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not, because I don't know how I would have propped up that back piece to get screwed on. Yeah, there it goes. Oh yeah, I think I did try that. It didn't, yeah, it didn't work. Assembling the chair in the chair. Get those little pieces and little hexagonal screws. Tighten them down with the Allen wrench. Make sure everything is secure. Because that's what keeps the whole back piece secured in place, you know? So those armrests gotta be set right. Otherwise, you know, the client's just gonna fall right back into me. There we go, bam! She is back together. Yes. There we go, she's put back together. And she's happy, yay. But then I went and slept on it and was like, no, that bottom plate piece is just, it is too wobbly. So I dug out 4 bolts, 4 nuts that were the correct size for the hole. And you know what? Let's cut to that real quick. Here's the finished chair. So it went in with these longer bolts. You can see them poking through the bottom. Is it aesthetically pleasing? Nah. But is it functional? Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. And they look like, the heads look like the same as the studs. Those nice round, shiny studs. So this is holding nicely in place. You see I've got this space I was talking about. So I've got this room here that it's not gonna get gunked up. I can clean this easier without taking the whole thing apart. So really proud of it. Check her out. Yes. So thank you guys for joining me for part 3 of the 3-part saga of the Salon Chair Facelift. She is gorgeous, she is comfortable, and I am just pretty impressed with myself right now that I pulled this off. She's not perfect, but she's beautiful and she's mine, and I'm just stoked. I'm stoked that I pulled this off in 2. Definitely learned a lot from it. And feel like I could do this again. So in the description box below, you'll see the materials that I purchased for the project. Also, I'll leave a link for a simple salon chair if you're just looking for a new chair for your workspace, or maybe you're looking for the base of a customizable project. So yeah, check those out. Until next time, guys, follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Give Your Hair a Kiss. Check out my products and exclusive offers at giveyourhairakiss.com. Remember to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more of my salon renovation, mobile, freelance, stylist life videos. I'm super excited for a lot of big projects that I have coming up. So stay tuned. And until next time, give your hair a kiss.